Please don't forget to like our videos and subscribe to our channel so that we can bring you like-minded individuals more content. Remember to click on the bell to be notified when we post next. Hello sailors, welcome to another edition of As We See It. It's episode 2 in our 3-part series Onboard Virgin Voyages Valiant Ladies Mermaiden Voyage. Overnight we sailed to Belgium and today we are ported in Zeebrugge. We awoke early and watched them tie up the ship. Our thoughts were to stay on the ship or stay local rather than to go into Bruges. It's €100 round trip to go in, works out better if you have 4 people. You can do it cheaper by taking the shuttle bus to the end of the port and then getting the coastal tram from Zeebrugge Kirk to Blankenberg station and then taking the train into Bruges. Now this is okay if you have an overnight at the port or you're not docking on a Sunday because there's less trains into Bruges on a Sunday. Now we booked into Razzle Dazzle for breakfast because we really enjoyed doing this on the Scarlet Lady the last time. It's a veggie vegan friendly restaurant on board and they do some meat but not very much. Paul opted for the watermelon and sesame cream, followed by the wild mushroom frittata, and I had the acai bowl with the Impossible Burger. They'd taken the McMuffin style breakfast roll off the menu. I did also have a side of the smoked bacon, which is done in a sticky honey sauce. It's naughty but it's so delicious. After this, as it's on the same floor but on the opposite side of the ship, I went through sailor services and took some pictures of pink agave, the Mexican on board. Now I know we're eating in there tomorrow evening, but it is nice to get pictures during the day when it is lighter. We decided that we'd go back to the room and freshen up. We watched the end of the Jack Reacher film and decided it was time to head out. We took the shuttle to the end of the port and then the coastal tram into Blankenberg. Back in December 2019 when we sailed on a 3-day cruise on Cooner's Queen Victoria, we got off and the free shuttle bus took you straight to Blankenberg. It was days before Christmas so it was cold and it was a bit out of season. Blankenberg is a nice place to walk around as is Nighi, which is a town in the opposite direction. picked up a few things we wanted in the shops and we decided it was time to head back to the ship. On arrival back at the ship, we dropped off our purchases in the room. We then headed up to the galley on deck 15. We decided that we needed a cup of tea. As we were still full from breakfast, we had skipped lunch and we were a little peckish. We both had a ham and cheese omelette with some hash browns and some sweet potato tater tots. Paul took a chocolate dessert back to the room. Paul put on the end of the House of Gucci and I had a disco nap. It was then time to get dressed and head downstairs to Extra Virgin where we had booked in for dinner. To get to Extra Virgin you need to walk past the high street shops. We love Extra Virgin, it's Italian food and the pasta is made fresh each day by the chefs on board. The worst thing about this place is that you leave fit to burst. You really just want someone to stick a pin in you. For starters, Paul had the romaine salad and I had the meatballs, and we shared a Wagyu beef carpaccio in the middle. I had forgotten just how generous the portions are. We had pappardelle al ragu for our pasta course. We did skip the cheese and meats board because we just felt we couldn't eat it. And for mains, I had the New York strip steak and Paul had the spatchcock chicken. With the little room that was left, we squeezed in some gelato. Paul had chocolate hazelnut and I had vanilla. After we left Extra Virgin, we headed over to the Get Lost counter, which is their next cruise desk, to see what deals they had on. We looked at trip for next year, because we still have some vouchers left from when we were on Scarlet Lady last year. And we wandered around the ship to walk off dinner. I had a look in the groupie, which is where you can book in and sing karaoke in a booth. We headed up and outside on deck 16 to get some air and to see how cold it was outside. It had been lovely and sunny during the day in the sun, but cold in the shade, and it was a little chillier this evening. Now we had booked to see Duel Reality, and I know that we saw it on Scarlet Lady, but I just loved this show so much that I just wanted to see it again. Paul wasn't feeling that great, so he stayed in the room and I went on Betod. Whilst Duel Reality was quite similar to on Scarlet Lady, due to some new cast, it had so much more content in each of the sections, and was like before, just super amazing. It was so elevated this time around, and I hope it stays that way. I was lucky to be on the red side this time and sat next to one of the performers again. The red side won, and I'm really pleased that every time I've been to see the show, that I've always been on the winning side. Due to international copyright, I can only show you small snippets from the show. If you love cruising and haven't done a Virgin Voyage before, it's really worth it just for this show alone.
Free as a bird in the sky, that is what you are. Breathe and you know you're alive. Feel the beat of your heart. Well, life is a crazy way of turning everything upside down. So move with the time. chasing the sunshine and go out and play. Listen, I wanna be there with you no matter where you go. Life is a table for two, and we're starting the show. Well, I'm gonna spread my wings and fly so high up above the clouds. You know that time doesn't wait for your dreams. We're living right here and now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play. Are you ready for it? Better take your shot. It's gonna do the things that you wanna do, yeah. 'Cause this time is the right.
After the show, I headed up to the galley to pick up a cup of tea for us both, then headed back down to the room. I can't remember what film Paul was watching when I got back. We did try to watch Suspicion, the TV show that we took with us, but I kept nodding off. We had our tea and then it was time for slumber. So sailors, that's it for episode 2 of As We See It. Please join us again soon for episode 3, the final episode in this Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady series. Good night, and thanks for watching.